Good evening, everybody. My name's Kerry. I'm taking over Mental Health Warriors tonight. We're going to put the horse under the spotlight. See you in a minute. Hi. Ashly's not with us yet, so she'll be back in a minute, which means I can pick on you two to start with. We'll start with Nick.
Yeah. Hi.
Since starting hosting the Mental Health Warriors, what's life been like for you? Has anything changed? And if so, what?
Yes, good question. Yes, no, definitely. I mean, lots changed. I think it's, being involved in Mental Health Warriors, it's given me a focus and a purpose in many ways, which I think is something, we all need. And I think to do something that makes a difference and you're passionate about, and you're involved in something where you're really passionate about and believe in, and so you really support and makes a difference is so important. So for me, that doing that, it's made a massive difference in my life. I think it's also I think it might also, for me personally, I think it's a mental health. It's something that you have to look after mental health throughout your whole life. Not and I've had some challenges and still do have challenges, but to be able to be involved in the Mental Health Warriors channel and the group and the support I get from it. I mean, I think for own mental health, it's a really positive thing to have that support and to be part of the bigger picture of what Mental Health Warriors does.
Mm-hmm. You forgot one very important thing though, Nick.
You two, amazing people.
Yeah, exactly. You got to meet me and Adam.
I'll save the best bit last. Just about, yeah, of course. Making good friends, seeing you two. Of course,
exactly. You get out there, you get to meet new people and learn new things and see new things.
All about the people, isn't it? I mean, everything comes down to people in life, really. And yeah, without a doubt, definitely. Met both of you in person, which is amazing. And obviously the others, Ashly and Richard, and the others online. But yeah, that's a great thing. It's making good friends for life. It's about connection. So yeah. Good point,
and obviously you and your little boy came up before Wyatt's first birthday, and we had a brilliant weekend.
Certainly did.
And we ended it with a party. So
it was great.
Yeah. How is little Noah?
He's great. So I'm seeing him again in a week. We're going on holiday together. We often talk about when we came up. So we'll definitely at some point do another visit, a return visit.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, we'd love that. Hello, Ashly.
Hi, I'm back.
Right. So you just mixed Nick telling us how the Mental Health Warriors has changed him and what life has been like for him. So, Adam, over to you. I knew you were having a drink, that's why I said it.
Well, first of all, what Kerry forgot is people need to share and subscribe.
Oh, right, okay.
Just saying that. How is the impact? Well, I got to make connections with Nick and every brilliant people, and also Ashly. But it's all about getting that purpose. As Nick was saying, getting that purpose, that message out there that helps us to evolve in this mental health industry. And by doing videos like this, it promotes that awareness.
Right, but then how has the Mental Health Warriors helped you? Because you've been doing this for quite a while.
5 years, actually. 5 years. It's impacted me a lot by emotionally, physically, and again, I've made those connections because if it weren't for, as people say, COVID, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So it's helped me a lot.
Can you expand on that?
Oh, here we go. But basically, just helped me like gain friends, gain that social media family, and just got to learn about other people's experiences that I resonate with a lot. And this is why my mental health is in a good place, because obviously when it started, it was in a shit place, but now it's, as again, evolved through other people's stories.
Yeah, because while you've been doing the Mental Health Warriors, we have come across quite a lot of people around the world.
Yes.
We've made some really good friends that we still speak to now.
Yes.
We keep up with what they're doing. We've been speaking to Australia, different parts of America. Obviously, Nick's in the UK. Who else is in the UK?
A lot of people.
That Abigail. She was actually in the next town to us, but unfortunately, we never got to meet up with her because she was too busy. But yeah, it was really good. We've made some really good friends for life, haven't we? And obviously, we've grown as a couple.
Yeah.
Through doing this.
We've gained those good connections, made some good friends. Then obviously we've met Ashly.
Right. You want me to slap him?
You can't do that.
I'll just turn the camera off for a minute.
Right. There you go.
Right, Ashly, your turn. How has the Mental Health Warriors helped you and changed your life?
Well, I think for me, it's just the ability to bring a larger awareness to not just the mental health community, but just in general, that there's more people out there that are struggling with mental health than what you think when you keep this on a small scale level, right? When you just go about your day to day versus stepping out there, doing a podcast like this, interviewing guests, you don't see how large the need really is. And I think, like everybody has said, it's just the connections. It's making those connections, not just with the guests, but it's also the connection with those of us that are assisting Adam and you, and as like the admin community, if you will, that we've built. And to be able to check in on each other, like, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And just pushing us to be better people, not leaving us where we were or where we're at. The goal is for us to become better human beings, just all around, right? And I think that's where a platform like this has assisted in that, where it's not just that awareness, it's not just the friendships and the connections that we make, but it's just us growing individually as well.
Yeah. And where would you like to see the Mental Health Warriors in, say, 5 years' time, Adam?
To be honest, I'm not thinking that long term. I'm just focusing on one day at a time and see where it brings, and whatever comes.
In an ideal world, where would you like it to go?
In an ideal world, well, meeting Ashly in person, that'll be good. She just needs to get a butt over to England, of course. But
we need to get over to America.
Yes.
Going to America is on your bucket list.
Living in America is on my bucket list, yes.
Maybe that's something we could look at.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe doing a live stream together where we're all physically together and see what happens from that. But I can't promise there won't be any banter between me and Ashly. Well, Ashly trying to banter, but yeah.
I've seen and been a part of your conversations away from the Warriors. They are very good. Some of
Mine
them.
and Ashly?
Some of them.
Of course they are.
She shouts at you.
She does not shout at me.
It's as good as it takes.
Oh, she does.
She doesn't.
She does.
She tries.
See, and that's the beauty of this. Like, again, it's not just the checking in on each other of how we're doing, but it's being able to laugh and have fun with one another, right? And that's what I think the goal of this platform is. Like, yes, we can be serious, right? Because mental health is a serious thing, but at the same time, like, when you can laugh with one another and build that community with each other, that brings joy to the soul. Like, that is what this is about. It's a laid back conversation, panel, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be all work and no play.
Serious, yeah. All serious.
Yeah.
Just while she's talking.
Sorry, it was me. I was sorry, back in. But yeah, I mean, humour is, I think the best way to help you. If you've got some mental health challenges, humour is one of the best ways to sort of cope with it. I mean, and humour is such a great thing, and like you say, there's different approaches, to this sort of show. It could be a serious, more sort of formal approach, but I think a genuine rawness of and humour. I think that reflects very much who we are as individuals and how we work together. But I think humour is the best thing, isn't it? And even in the darkest times, we all need humour. And I think that helps you cope with things better than anything else, doesn't it? So definitely.
Yeah, definitely laughing together does help you. It does. Yeah. All right, okay. Then let's get down to some questions. So over...
I've not started.
I mean, proper questions. Shut up. Okay. So over the last, 12 months, have you had one particular guest that you've enjoyed talking to? Ashly?
Oh, geez.
What about the spotlight?
I think there's a lot of them that I would say. I think one of the ones that I really enjoyed was when I did that interview with Sergeant Sugru, Mike. That was a really good one. I think even some of our latest guests that we've had as well have really been just fascinating to me. When you think you've heard it all and you're like, I guess I haven't, kind of a thing. And you really envision some of the interviews like, this only happens in the movies, right? Like, this isn't real life. Like, am I just envisioning some of this? So I don't know that there's like just one in particular. I really don't. There's a lot of them that I think have been very enjoyable to listen to and to hear their story. Yeah, I can't just pinpoint one because there's too many.
I agree.
What about you, Nick? Has there been one particular person?
I mean, there's definitely a couple, I guess, fairly recent ones. I mean, I'm terrible with names, but I mean, two is, the last guest we're on the show, but was a guy, the police officer in Australia who's, shot 14 times and obviously went through a very dark period recovering from that. But yeah, incredible story. I mean, and then the other one was the guy from England who's walking to Spain. And I think, those two, very different stories, very different subjects they're talking about. But I think they're, both, incredible, inspiring. One, the guy's shot, to go through that and survive, and then go on to become, more motivated than ever and get, and what he's achieved. And the other guy walking in Spain, I think it's really just, meeting the people on the show. There's so many incredible, inspiring stories, and I think it's just story. Story is such powerful things. It's what inspires us, motivates us, and these are true, raw stories. What people are doing, or have achieved, or being for really dark things, but then, they've obviously got through it. And those two definitely are two sort of fairly recent ones which stick in my mind. I think anything that inspires me, and all the people do that come to the show, but anything where I think, wow, that's it's incredible. And I think. Those two definitely. I think it's. There's a lot about a show about making a difference. This always going back to what you were saying earlier. I think if you can make a difference in someone else's life, that's one of the best things you can do. And my son, I try and make a difference to him. Obviously inspire him and give him confidence and things. But I think all the people come on the show and definitely you will make a difference in my life. So, and I think all the people coming to the show by sharing their stories, they're making a difference. And I think so. Guys walking to Spain and Australian policeman.
Yeah. First of all, that last week's guy is called Derek McManus.
That's it.
Yes. And the guy, he didn't walk to Spain. He walked to Italy. It was Manchester.
Oh, Italy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was called Kai. Favorite guests? I don't have any. I can't play favourites, but everybody's been good. They really have, whether they've come back or whether they haven't. They've all been good, and it's just going to get even better because everybody's got their own perspective on mental health, and it's good to hear these new perspectives over and over again. And as Ashly said, she's pinpointed. You think you've heard things, but we just get surprised with these. So all I say is wait till next week when there's 10 of us on camera.
And what's the topic next week?
What's the topic next week? It's a trigger warning, and it's how to overcome fear when being mistreated for years.
That sounds really interesting. I'll be in the comments for that one. I'll be back in my usual comments for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. Have you had a topic that you've not liked talking about?
I like them all.
There's nothing that's bothered you?
No.
No?
No.
What about you, Nick? Anything that you've not really liked talking about?
I think there's a couple of shows where I thought maybe I can contribute as because I think I think I could, all the shows I could be on, and I'm honoured to have the opportunity to be on, all the shows. But I think there's a couple which I thought maybe, I think a couple of trigger warning ones about the topic, and I thought, to be honest with you, I haven't got experience for that. Maybe I can't contribute, or so I thought maybe other members of the team could be better suited.
Yeah.
It's not many, but the odd show of that. But otherwise, I think all the topics, like there's no one more important than the other. There's no one, they're all important and they're all different. So there hasn't been one I haven't liked. Even the ones I've appeared on, I try and obviously watch the show afterwards. So yeah.
What about you, Ashly?
No, I don't think that there's any that I would say that I haven't enjoyed. Kind of like Nick, there's some topics where I'm like, ooh, can I contribute to this conversation? Because it's not always having that particular experience yourself, but then when the guest starts talking, you find, oh, well, there's something within somebody I know, or like some way to tie it back together where I can make some sort of connection, if you will. But I don't know that there's any particular topic specifically that, hasn't been fascinating for me.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything that you would like to talk about more?
Well, I mean, I would say I'm going to bring it back to the self-care piece, just because, all in some sort of nutshell, like the mental health space is correlated to the self-care as well, but I would say more specific topics as far as self-care, whether it be talking about identity and the masks that we wear, whether it's talking about how can we as, couple spouses, how can we tie self-care in together? How can we recognize when our counterpart is needing self-care, right? And even as, like in your case, Nick, as far as being divorced and being a single dad, like how can you also make sure that you're taking care of yourself, especially working in the school system with special needs kids, and like just self-care as a whole, I would say needs to be talked about more. But again, we do discuss it in a roundabout way.
Yeah. What about you, Nick? Is there anything that you think that we need to talk about more?
I mean, I don't know. It's a tricky one. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I suppose that resonated with me. I mean, there been so many, there's so many situations where, I suppose, for me, divorce can be quite, for example, can be quite traumatic in its own way, and can be quite stressful and mental health. And I suppose in other situations, like perhaps workplace, a lot of people suffer mental health through their experience at work. That can be very stressful, and so even that, those could be areas, talking about, I mean, we touched on some relationship themes on shows, but maybe something around divorce or workplace mental health, workplace stress, that could be something. But no, I'm always impressed to be, the way you come up with new shows and great titles. I think, it's quite challenging to come up with something, for a weekly show, each time. So, yeah. Not sure.
What about you, Adam? Is there something that we need to talk about more?
Oh, there's always things we can talk about. I think pinpointing is getting people's perspectives on generational trauma from different age groups, different generations. So, like, get someone from the youth to someone my age to Ashly's age, which, yeah.
Just say the word, Ashly, and I will do.
And then someone like 10, 20 years older than that, and just bring them on, and you'll be amazed with what they can come out with.
Yeah, because
there's about 3 years between me and Ashly anyway.
Yeah, because when you think about mental health, there's our generation, and then there's obviously, I'm gonna mention my parents' generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously that with us sort of thing. Mental health wasn't something they talked about. It wasn't something that they knew about, and it's all very new to them. So when I got diagnosed with BPD, they don't know what the hell that is, and I had to sort of tell them what it is. I mean, I'd like to see you talk about BPD more, because I feel like it's not understood as well as you should understand it. So there's a little idea for
Okay,
me.
well, speaking of that, we are actually covering that topic later in the year. But the real question is, do you want to see Kerry more on camera?
Yeah, of course.
There you
Kerry.
go.
Yes.
You have no choice now.
Definitely.
I try and pop up when I can. It's when Wyatt's asleep, because obviously his sleep routine at the minute is up and down. Sometimes he's in bed early, sometimes he's in bed late. Sometimes I'm settling him while I'm watching his in the comments.
Sure.
So yeah, it's gonna be whether I can get Wyatt into a routine, because he's being very, very difficult at the moment. He goes 2 next month, and the terrible 2s have started already.
Remember those
Actually. You love it.
Well, terrible 2s, yeah, I remember that.
But that's what else we could actually talk about. Is it really terrible 2s? Because I'm starting to think it isn't.
It is. Oh, it is.
Terrible 3s.
Well, Ashly's got about 7 kids anyway, so she'll know.
Well, I was going to throw it at Nick first, actually, because he mentioned the terrible twos. So go on, Nick. Tell us your experience of the terrible twos. I know we're going off topic a little bit, but oh well.
No, my son. I mean, I can't remember exactly how old he was, but there was definitely, and I can't say it is exactly for a year, but I definitely remember, that period where he was so, loved by some of the bits, but really hard, like behavior-wise. And I think it was when he was 2, and just really was really stressful. It was really, I think I struggled as a dad, for that period, just very challenging behavior, and I really struggled. Definitely a terrible, for me, definitely it was a terrible 2. I mean, it was about 2 years old, and just didn't sleep, shrieked all the time, very demanding, sort of misbehaving. I mean, he's only 2, I was very young, of course, but for me, I remember terrible 2s very well. But
go on, Ashly. As a mother to multiple children, terrible 2s.
I can't necessarily say that 2s were it, because quite honestly, dealing with the teenage years, like, I feel like it's just childhood in general. I don't think it's one age specific, but when they start really having that mobility, they want to climb on everything. They start talking, and they're, it's like you have this itty bitty little human and you're like, oh, you're so cute. You want them to start talking, say mama, say dad, like all the things. And then they start talking, and then they don't shut up. And then it just progressively, but at the same time, they're building their fine motor skills. They are testing the boundaries to know what's safe, what's not safe, like all of the things, right? And that's just what kids are supposed to do. They're supposed to push the button. They're supposed to drive you bonkers. And then they begin developing their own personality and their own attitudes. And you're like, oh, you're just like me. But they're also very much a mirror of us, all of them. So when you give attitude, they give attitude. When they give attitude and you give attitude back, like all the back and forth, right? But they're just
I'm innocent.
Oh, baloney. They are just showing you what they're learning, right? Because they are sponges. They soak it in. They absorb it. They know exactly what to do to push your buttons. Kids are manipulators, and I don't care if you say that they're not, they are.
Well, they are.
Because that's just what they're supposed to do, right? That's all about learning in the childhood development and as their brains are developing. And so often we want them to be older than what they are. We want them to act like a grown-up, when in reality, their brains are not developmentally at that stage. But it's still going to drive you bonkers. It's still going to irritate you. It's going to do all of the things. But I often say, I very much teach my children how to be self-sufficient and how to do for themselves. And oftentimes it bites me in the ass. And it did that when they were little. I mean, the youngest one is 7, but it did that when they were 2 or 3, because it was, okay, no, I want you to learn how to get this yourself and go to the drawer and find your fork and, get your plate and all of the things, right? But then that self-sufficiency, especially when you're in a hurry as a mom, or you're late for an appointment or whatever, and it's like, just let me do it. And they want to do it themselves, and they want to be independent. And yes, so children are a blessing. They are so much fun.
That's what you want to call it. Okay, we'll go along with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, well, Wyatt at the moment is more mimicking me. So he absolutely loves the Hoover. and he'll wander around hoovering things, picking things up like Mummy does and going underneath them.
Well, good habits. They can develop.
But when he kicks off, yeah, he headbutts. But when I'm holding on to him, when he's lashing out, he just stops and then guns and gives me a hug.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely a Tegan thing.
He comes to me, doesn't he, a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is a mummy's boy at bedtime.
If that's what you want to call it.
Maybe we should do some things about couples.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
I'm just saying the Serenity Prayer in my head right now, so yeah.
Oh, stop it. I cannot say that there's any chance that my husband would ever get on here, but at the same time, I don't think it would be a bad idea to have stuff with couples or being very couple focused, if you will, and you know that kind
maybe a parent and child.
I think that's all these ideas. I think that's what, you know, I mean, trying new things and you know, challenging ourselves in the way of, you know, what you know, the direction we can take the show in. I mean, I think, you know, like I said, you know, getting an elder person, you know, we've not done that before. Why not get a show with sort of an elderly perspective, getting a couple of. I think these are all things we should play around with. You know, I think this is what makes our show, this show, you know, so special. You know, in that we you know, we're not afraid to address sensitive topics. We have a trigger warning. We're not afraid to try new formats and different, you know. So I think we should try all these things. Definitely,
Yeah, definitely. So maybe get somebody that is older, and then get somebody that's younger, and talk about mental health in different age ranges. Maybe that's something going forward you can look at.
We've already covered that once.
But did you have it where you had an older person and then a younger person?
Yes.
When was that?
Years ago.
Right, well, we definitely need to do that then, don't we?
All right, then. So how has not just being part of the Mental Health Warriors, but podcasting in general helped your own mental health?
I'm meant to be doing the questions, but okay.
It's a discussion.
Oh, goodness.
Who wants to go first?
I can.
Has it helped?
No, it's made me batshit crazy.
Who's already that?
Just kidding. No, again, it goes back to having the conversation. It goes back to learning. With all of the guests that we've had and being able to build those connections, it's also done one of those like support systems, right? So if there is something that is a particular topic, because we've built that network of people, we're able like, hey, I'm struggling with this, and we can reach out to, say, one of our guests or one of those that used to be on our admin team that had to go different directions with life, right? It just gives us that additional support network. And I think that's huge for our own mental health, knowing that we have a support network of people that we can call on and be like, hey, is there any way you have a resource for this? Or, you know, I'd love to get your book to be able to read more about what it is that you do or what you've written about. So I think that is a big thing that hasn't just assisted in my journey, but again, it's also given me avenues of what I share in the newsletter or, you know, things like that. And there are more things that I want the newsletter to really evolve into that we do. As far as I know, Nick, you've sent me, you know, some articles that you've got, and I have to dig into those. And I'll look at those for the August newsletter, but just, you know, having that ability to add that in, to incorporate that, to have that resource for people. But then while I'm creating stuff like that, it's like, it's that teachable moment of, holy crap, these are where the statistics are. And as we've talked about, you know, those statistics are probably not 100% accurate, right? But at the same time, it's bringing that awareness. So, and it's also one of those situations where, again, we can recognize when one another, like, you need to take the week off, you need to take some self-care, you need to do, etc. Or, like, recognizing, okay, this is what our topic is. Maybe I should dive deeper into that, or, you know, just nurturing ourselves, I think is what.
Yeah, well, I have noticed that once we finish on things like this, you quickly jump into your self-care space and do a live, which is similar conversation to what we've just had. So I think it inspires you to reach out to more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you could do that, Nick, with your shows.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, no, good idea. Yeah, sort of reflections afterwards. Yeah, for me, I mean, so for me, I think what I've gained from doing the sort of podcasting, I think, I mean, obviously there's learning personal practical skills, you know, part of personal development. But I think also there's a lot about to do a podcast, you make yourself a bit vulnerable because you're putting yourself out for the world. And I think particularly, you know, the subjects we cover, you know, what we talk about. And I think be able to go on a show like this and talk about the stuff we do, I think it's definitely gained a sort of a confidence in a way, you know, to be able to speak on a show, like I say, a show to a large growing audience. There's definitely some skills there around communication side, but I think definitely there's a sort of a pride as well, you know, that I've been involved in this, and but I've got to the point where I'm comfortable talking about these subjects, and I think, you know, that's important for my personal journey, my personal development. I think doing the podcast has really made a big difference that way. Definitely.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Yeah, it's helped me big time because you just, like I said earlier, it's when you listen to these other people's stories, it's like, I can resonate with that. And when they're providing strategies, whether it's experts or people with experience coming on, you learn from these because you're trying them to see what works for you. And that's what we do. And that's why do I need more self-care? Yes. But you just have to just keep going and do what works for you. But I love when it comes to Friday nights, but obviously come January it's going to flick over to Thursdays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact you do enjoy coming and doing coming and doing the Warriors. It's something you do look forward to.
I do.
And you see doing the Warriors as self-care.
Yes.
You have said that to me.
Yes.
Yeah. Self-care at home, you do need to find that better balance of self-care because you do spend a lot of time on your phone or emailing guests. I'll grass you up right now. And I do tell him to stop with the emailing guests, answering guest emails and blah, blah, blah. And obviously go and have some self-care. But he doesn't listen to me.
You're going to get Ashly to shout at me, aren't you?
Go for it.
Hey, I can't speak to that because I won't lie. I am just as guilty, my friend. Just as guilty. Well, and that's the beautiful thing too, is when you can recognize that you are needing self-care, that's huge because it really does start with the awareness of it. knowing when you are reaching that fine line of burnout, when you are reaching that fine line of exhaustion. But it's also being able to pay attention to one another. And I feel like that is a huge part of the communication of just marriage in general, right? And it's up to, of course, Adam to be able to pay attention, like, okay, I've been on my phone for a long time, right? So sometimes it utterly drives my husband crazy when my kids are always on my phone. But at the same time, it takes me away from it. So it's like it gives me that break where I'm not constantly checking social media or I'm not constantly checking it. And there will be times where I will jump out of a meeting early, or after I finish a meeting, I shut all my stuff down. Like, okay, I'm done. Like I've been sitting here long enough. It's time to shut it down. So it's being mindful of that and it's paying attention to that. But it's not easy when we live in a technology driven world. Mm-hmm. And to be able to communicate with people, you know, via email, because this is a global international platform and podcast, if you will, panel, that it's the different time zones. It's granted, it doesn't make a difference. Like it would be beneficial for you, Adam, to set up like, okay, during this window and this window, this is when I'm going to email guests. And if I don't get them emailed, well, then they get moved to my tomorrow to-do list, right? Because it isn't something that's always an emergency. It would be great to somehow figure out a way that we could, and I'm just going to put this out there, but it would be great to be able to figure out how we could have some kind of an automated system for that. But unfortunately, I don't think that that is something that is possible for this type of a scenario, right? So it requires that interaction, that communication. But it's also, okay, if you're emailing a guest that we have 3 months out, is that really top-notch priority? Probably not. Like, if it's a guest that, oh, okay, this is a guest we have for the next 2 weeks, then yes, those emails need to go out. But it's really figuring out how do you prioritize the more emergent, like, okay, these are the guests that we have now. These are guests that we have 2 months from now. I can send an email and say, okay, yep, we'll connect again as the date approaches, you know, in that initial, like, thanks for wanting to be on the show type of thing. And yes, I'm totally calling out our back end stuff here, friends, because that's the kind of conversation that this is. But it needs to be in a category of this is like a now kind of a thing. This is a to-do later. So then you can create those boundaries and Kerry can hold you accountable to them of, hey, that's not on the to-do now list. That's on the to-do later. So shut your shit down.
Don't prompt her.
Yeah, well, tough cookie.
No, you know what? That's good advice from me. Because
it is.
Yeah, because the amount of emails you send that I link to the Warriors, it's unreal. The amount of emails he gets, his phone's always pinging. That's why he's always got it on silent. And then when I ring him, it takes me like 3 times to actually get through to him because his phone's on silent. And then in the mornings, I've lost my phone. We try and ring it, and it won't make a noise because he's still got it on silent.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
When?
It's a lot now.
I guess to an extent, Adam said that he looks forward to Friday. He loves the Warriors. So I guess, if you enjoy your work, but it's not like work. I guess to an extent there's that sort of aspect that I guess we all love the show and Adam, you love it. So it's it's not. It doesn't seem like work. 'Cause you love what you do. But I guess, as Ashly said, you've got to be with self-care. That's a priority above everything. Because even if it's, you've got to prioritize that ruthlessly. And I think, Kerry is your accountability partner. As your partner, she's, if the one person who knows you more than anything.
I should have known I was going to get picked on tonight.
So,
I should have known.
Yeah, I agree with, actually, it's all about allocating your time, so you're always going to have a lot to do with this channel, especially as it grows, but you've got to make sure.
It's the same with you, Ashly, though. You're a self-care mama, but you don't do that much self-care.
Oh, baloney. I do self-care all the time. I just don't do a lot of like big things. I do self-care every single day, my friend, because I have a viewpoint of self-care as it's just part of my routine. It's not something that I always do big things in addition to, right? So I just had this conversation with a friend and a client of mine, and I had said to her, I was like, the point of self-care is that it becomes so part of your routine, it doesn't seem like you're doing self-care. So in the morning, if that's listening to my Year in a Bible devotional before I get out of bed, that's my self-care. Washing my face, that's my self-care, right? So I look at it as simple tasks. If I want to have a hot cup of coffee, that's my self-care as I get into my day. Taking my supplements is my self-care. Having water consumption, that's my self-care, right? Moving my body. So really looking at it in simplistic terms versus
to put on the record, shopping, whether it's physically shopping or looking on your phone at shopping apps, that's not self-care, is it?
Okay, so that's... Well, it depends, okay? I'm not going to say yes or no to that, right? If you are like going way and beyond in like an addictive state, that's one thing. But, some people will say, well, watching a TV show or binge watching a TV show isn't self-care. If that like shuts my brain out from all of the other things that are bombarding my brain, then that's freaking self-care. Okay. So, and I even literally just got a self-care journal and it has 2 pages worth of self-care ideas on it. And I don't know if shopping is necessarily one of them because I didn't look at the whole thing. But at the end of the day, okay, so if you're shopping to purchase nourishing items for your body, like supplements or something like that, then I would consider that self-care because you are taking the initiative and the step to buy something that nourishes your body from the inside out. If you are shopping to buy yourself a new outfit because you want to feel beautiful and you want to, whatever, that to me is self-care because it's how you feel about that particular item. If you're buying stuff just to buy stuff to have and accumulate things, well, then I don't know that I would say that that's necessarily self-care. But again, it's about the intention behind it. It's about the heart that's behind it.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay. It's not one. It's not one. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Nick. Go on.
But as I say, with self-care, it's not one big thing. So if I do one big thing, that'll be self-care. It's the little things make the biggest difference. So looking at lots of little ways, like a long, said in that journal, this long list, because there's little things you can add into your day or tweak or change that will improve your well-being. And like I said, it could be lots of little things. And for me, it's similar. If I have a shower in the morning and a coffee, that is, that makes a big difference how I start my day. But how can I make, it's often little changes, little tweaks here and there, get those good habits in, that'll improve my day, improve my well-being. And I think it's the little things that we sometimes are so small, we sometimes don't think they're self-care, but make the biggest difference. So, yeah.
And going to the shopping, when I'm shopping, you're right, I look at things to make me feel good. Yeah. But then I also look at things that I know are going to make the kids smile, for etc., like on their birthdays or Christmas, whatever. And seeing the kids smile makes me feel good. So in a way, shopping is self-care.
You buy things even though we don't need those things.
Like what?
Clothes all the time.
We always need clothes, though. We always need new clothes.
That Stitch coffee bar thing.
The clothes can make you feel good, so I guess there's no
Coffee bar thing. Oh, my countertop
Yeah.
protector. It looks nice and makes me smile daily.
I'm just not going to win, am I? No. I'll just, yeah.
It makes me smile daily, and when I'm waiting for the coffee machine to do what it needs to do, I can look at Stitch and it makes me smile. And it helps me remember that I have an inner child that I work very hard to heal, and I don't want to go back to the point where I need to heal myself again, and to remember that my inner child needs to come out a bit more.
My inner child comes out at Christmas.
It comes out every bloody day.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's good having this inner child, though, isn't it?
One of the shows, I'm sure.
It is. Why do we need to grow up? That is a genuine question. Why do we need to grow up?
I mean, there are situations that we are supposed to be more professional, if you will. But, I mean, I think having that inner child, like, playful side, or that inner child, like, faith, or whatever it is that you can bring out appropriately when the timing is right, if you will. And I mean, there's going to be times where it's just not appropriate to bring out the inner child. But I think that keeps the wonder going of life. That keeps the enjoyment of life going when you can bring out that inner child. Because when you're serious all the time, or you are living in such rigidity of your life, and there's like, it's just very cookie cutter and so robotic, like, that gets boring, right? And I don't know that I would want to live in that, if you will.
I'm a fan of getting in touch with an inner child in that sense. I mean, definitely, I think you've got to choose what's appropriate for the situations. But yeah, I think children have a sense of excitement and wonder, when they're young, and sometimes we lose that, just that, being excited about the world and interested in things, and that wonder. But also, the creativity and imagination that children have. Do we lose that as we get older? Do we, and the sense of fun. I think these are things that, if we have, if we're more fun and great imagination, creativity, well, we'll probably be, more happy and a better well-being. But also, I think more flexibility, more resilience. I think there's been a lot of studies about that. How people who are more creative and are better able to cope with change. I think So, I think we definitely all need to perhaps get in touch with a child. I think when I spend much time with my son, I have to be at his level, because he's 9 years old. He hates when I use my phone or my computer, and I have to be at his level, and have fun with him as the 9-year-old, and I feel amazing afterwards, because it's so empowering, to actually be forced to switch off from work for a short period, and just all be about fun and think like a 9-year-old. So I'm fully support that.
Exactly. And that's why I'm teaching Lucas and Tegan, which they've learned to go in the toy shop, try me buttons. You have to.
When we say try me, I think it means try me on the one toy, not set the whole shelf off.
Why?
Because don't be like my dad, that he set one toy off and he didn't realise that this one toy interacts with they come in a set. There's about 6 or 7 different things in the set. And you set one off and it interacts with all the others in the set if they're around. And the whole shelf went off. You're
Oh,
talking between 20 and 30 toys going off together. That's not normal.
Yeah.
I can imagine it. As you described it, Kerry, I can imagine that going on. That's crazy.
You literally pressed one little button and the whole shelf went off. There was about 4 or 5 different shelves all going off together. I'm like, walk away, Dad, walk away.
But the thing is, though, when you're pressing the try buttons, they come up different sounds.
You have to. You've got to press it. If it says try me, you have to.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
But you're not meant to do it with the whole shelf. It goes off.
Actually, do you do it?
I always try it. If it says try me, I always do it.
It depends on the toy. But I will only do one. So the whole shelf doesn't go off. But I will do one, like if it's something that's cute, like around Christmas time, or if I happen to be in the toy aisle. But to be honest with you, a lot of times, like, I'm not in the physical store very much. Like, if I can't order it online, I don't need it that bad.
No, I just do it to all of them.
Yeah,
Adam's one of these that he will set the whole shelf off.
I was well with you, Adam.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Too curious. I want to know what happens when Anthony press a button. I need to know.
And me, Nick, and your dad and the kids will go toy shopping.
Yeah. That's definitely. Next time I'm up.
Exactly.
No, we're just not.
Anyway.
What can we look forward to in the next 2-3 shows, Adam?
Right, well, next week, 8 p.m. UK, Ashly. Yeah. Yeah, I keep telling these two every week to check the freaking emails.
Yeah, I noticed.
You didn't send me an email for this week, I don't think.
Yeah, I have.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I didn't get it.
If I don't ask you, will you probably miss my questions?
Right, well, next week, we're doing a trigger warning where there's going to be a lot of us on camera. We're discussing how to overcome fear after being mistreated for a long time. And then the one after that...
Who's got the phone out now?
I need to check. Yeah, I'll check that after.
From being incarcerated
to emails, actually.
Rehabilitation.
Yes, I'm waiting for that guest to get back to me. From being incarcerated to rehabilitation.
Who's that? Do you know a name, top of your head?
Yeah, John Graham. You're not on that, Nick.
Oh yeah, fine. Yeah, we know her. No, it sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but obviously, if there's going to be 10 of us on camera and we've got a package where we can't get 10, then I'm sure one of us can drop out.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then.
Yes. So there you go. That's it.
Excellent.
And we're at nearly 58 minutes, so I think that's enough. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll call it at the end of the night, and see you all next week. Remember to like and share and subscribe. See you later.
Thanks, Kerry. You're a great host. Great interview.
Thank you. I look forward to coming back again. Bye.